Hey everybody, welcome back to The Forge. Today we are actually going to be building a forge. I need a small one to take with me when I go do some mission work in Guatemala, and I came up with a design I think is going to be really cool, so we're going to build a prototype of that forge today. So we're going to get everything set up. I'll show you how we're going to do that, so let's have some fun. The basic idea here is that we're going to take this insulating refractory brick, IRF. These are rated to around 2300 degrees. You can get them a little higher, but this will be sufficient for what we're doing. And we're going to cut this profile out in them. We're going to do this to 5 bricks, and this will allow the bricks to actually form a little bit of a dome, which should fit together really, really nicely. We're gonna wrap that in some sheet metal and then mark out for some holes for a single burner to come through. This will give us a forge with an opening around 9 inches long and just a little over 4 inches square, which is plenty for making small knives. Now, these things are really, really lightweight. They put off a lot of dust and it's not good for you, so we're gonna make sure that as we are cutting these on the table saw, we're gonna wear lung protection and, as always, eye and ear protection. So I've got my blade set up according to the cuts on my template, and we're gonna go ahead and make the first cuts on all 5 of these, and then we'll do the other cuts, and really this forge should almost build itself from there. The trick to getting a really good cut on these bricks is to use one of these special blades, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest, this saw blade cost around $1,500. No, I'm just kidding, it really doesn't. I haven't changed the blade on this table saw in years, and I'm getting ready to put a new blade on it, which I spent about 30 bucks on, so I'm gonna use this old one. But in all honesty, you can cut these bricks with a hand saw. They're really, really soft. It's almost like cutting through styrofoam. But again, they put off a lot of dust that's really not good for you, so you really do need to wear lung protection and make sure that you're in a well-ventilated area. Blow out the shop or do it outside. And then the last one is cut wrong, I think. So I gotta go back to my drawing. I don't think I was supposed to cut the last one at all. So yeah, thankfully I bought extra bricks. So I messed up one of the cuts. I had the brick flipped upside down, so I just recut, or actually I didn't have to recut, I just got another brick because thankfully you only need to cut 4 bricks on this. So if everything is put together correctly, these bricks should nest into each other so that the last brick is a uncut brick, and then everything nestles together really, really well. And then the bottom of this forge is gonna be made out of harder fire bricks. These type of fire bricks are not good to make a forge out of for reflecting heat because they absorb heat more than they reflect it. This is why they're often used in things like wood stoves. These type of fire bricks are really, really good for reflecting heat, which is what makes them such a good part for the forge body. And this has given me a full 2.5 inches of insulation without any K-wool, without any Satanite, without any type of stuff like that. And it's gonna be a nice solid fit with really, really good heat retention. But these will go on the bottom, and these will actually allow me to do things like if I needed to use flux, if I was making Damascus or whatever, the flux has a tendency to eat these bricks up. And I don't personally use a lot of flux. I tend to do most of my Damascus welding dry, but if I wanted to, then it's gonna function a lot better with this type of brick in the bottom. It's just a little more durable. It'll absorb some of the heat. These will take a little longer to heat up, but these are gonna reflect so much heat, it's gonna work great. So we're gonna mark out this sheet metal, cut it, and then we'll start folding it and getting this thing put together. All right, that's the last piece cut. The next thing to do is just to deburr these edges a little bit, and I can do this on the grinder. I'm probably just gonna do this with a file really quickly because these are pretty clean cuts with these snips. And then I'll start marking out lines and figuring out how I'm gonna fold this. I don't have a metal brake, so I'm gonna probably end up having to clamp a piece of angle iron down to my welding table or something like that to actually get these folded properly. But before I do that, I just wanna make sure there's not any sharp corners that are gonna cut me. So we'll probably run a time lapse here. I'm just gonna take a file and clean up these edges. Thankfully, I think I've got a pretty simple solution here. None of my bends are more than 45 degrees. So what I'm gonna do is use the square edge of my welding table and a piece of flat bar, or actually square bar. And I'm just gonna clamp that down on top of my, my forge, and then just bend it by hand, which hopefully should work out close enough for what I'm doing. Again, this is a prototype. When I start building this for actually taking with me, or if I ever decide to sell these, I'll find a better way and use proper tooling to do this, but this is me figuring it out. Also remember, I'm gonna be taking a flat packed version of this overseas, and I'm not gonna have proper tools to make this. I'm gonna have to make do with what I got. So if I can figure out how to put everything together with really, really simple tools like a C-clamp and a flat table, that's gonna make my job easier when I actually have to build this after unpacking it from a suitcase. That's not a bad looking little bend there. That looks to be more or less the shape that we're looking for. Now the question is, does it actually fit our bricks? We'll start by laying out our bottom bricks, we'll put our forge together, and then we'll slide this on to see if it actually fits. If this fits. Like a glove. That's exactly what we wanted. So now we can mark out our bends for our tabs, and that's gonna be nice and strong. It's gonna hold everything securely. I'm really, really happy with the way everything is fitting together. This is gonna be a nice little forge. We can put a door at the front and at the back of it. Probably bring the door up here. I like to leave a little bit of a gap underneath my door. That way I can actually slide blades through under the door without actually opening the door. So that's gonna be perfect. I'll build some brackets to go along with that. The next thing to do though is to fit the burner to that. I've got a ready-made burner that I've used for another forge. I'm gonna see about doing that, but I may redesign that for something a little smaller, a little more packable. So I'm gonna play around with that burner design, and we'll come back to that. Probably gonna be building a smaller, more efficient burner, but I have this burner from another project, and so I'm just gonna use it to test this forge out, and I'm gonna run it in at a little bit of an angle so that I get a swirl effect from the flames. So everything is together. I'm really, really happy with the way that this looks and feels. It's only about, I'm guessing 30 pounds. I haven't weighed it yet. I got pivoting doors on the front and the back. So we're gonna light this thing up and stick some metal in it, see how long it takes to come up to heat, and just go from there. So let's fire it up. I'm really, really happy with this forge. It's super lightweight. All things considered, it's easily under 30 pounds. We're probably looking at the 25-pound range. I haven't weighed it yet, but I'll do that later. This couldn't have gone better. I'm super, super thrilled with the way that this forge has come together. Really, really like this design. So yeah, you'll definitely be seeing more of this one in the future. Thanks for watching. If you want to do a custom order, please let me know. I'm still taking orders right now. And who knows, maybe I will make a video of your knife next time. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.